face towards the car, you're under arrest for prohibition.
An FHP unit chases a reckless Florida driver tearing through a quiet neighborhood at terrifying speed. In Arkansas, a speeding Honda Accord gets PIT'd at 99 miles per hour, slamming straight into a guardrail. And after a wild night out, 3 19-year-old girls end up in handcuffs. These high-speed police chases are chaos you won't want to miss. On January 28, 2021, while patrolling on Highway 296 near Michigan Avenue, an officer spotted a gray Jeep Grand Cherokee speeding westbound. Radar confirmed the vehicle was traveling at 104 miles per hour in a 40-mile-per-hour zone. As it passed the patrol unit, the driver overtook another vehicle using the center lane. The officer turned around and activated emergency lights to initiate a traffic stop. The suspect fled through several residential areas, ignoring turns, driving into oncoming lanes, and tossing objects out the driver's window. Police attempted a pit maneuver, but the suspect skillfully evaded it. However, moments later, he lost control, sending the vehicle off the roadway and sliding into an open field. The suspect ran multiple red lights and stop signs, forcing officers to attempt several pit maneuvers. Despite repeated commands and warnings about a K9 deployment, he fled on foot into a wooded area. A taser was deployed but had no effect. When the K9 was released, it accidentally bit both arms of an officer. Officers had to use force to subdue the suspect and command the K9 to disengage. Eventually, the suspect complied and was taken into custody. A vehicle search uncovered small bags testing positive for marijuana and crystal meth. Officers seized 2 bags of weed and 3 bags of meth, one containing blue fragments. A digital scale was found under the driver's seat, along with another scale and several empty baggies inside a black backpack near the passenger seat. The driver was identified as Trequez Lontanillo Davis, who was wanted out of Okaloosa County for fleeing police. Records revealed he had no valid license in any state. Now facing charges including fleeing, reckless driving, and possession of a controlled substance, Davis was taken to Sacred Heart Hospital after being subdued by a K-9, then booked into Escambia County Jail.
Scott Hamilton.
At 12:34 a.m. on Sunday, January 6, 2025, an officer spotted a gray 2008 Honda Accord speeding at 90 miles per hour in a 75 zone on I-530 North. The driver wasn't wearing a seatbelt and refused to identify himself. As the officer moved to detain him, the driver suddenly fled, kicking off a high-speed pursuit.
But I've already said, please, I pulled you over speeding, okay?
Sorry?
Please, I pulled you over speeding.
Speeding? I was doing 65.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
No, I got a rear radar on me, right? You were doing that, you would have came up behind me over the top of you. I see your license. All right. Had a nice little road, 37. 530 North Memphis 2.
While merging from I-530 North onto I-30 West, the suspect drove recklessly through heavy traffic, constantly swerving between lanes and nearly hitting multiple vehicles. He even overtook a tanker truck at high speed. Throughout the chase, he reached 119 miles per hour in a 65 miles per hour zone. He also brake-checked repeatedly in an effort to avoid being hit with a pit maneuver.
You got Scott Hamilton.
As the pursuit neared Scott Hamilton Drive, officers executed a successful pit maneuver, causing the vehicle to spin out and crash into a ditch on the north side. Police quickly surrounded the wrecked car, ordering the driver and passenger to raise their hands and surrender. Both were swiftly detained and taken into custody.
Let me see your fucking hands! Show me your fucking hands! Show me your hands! Keep them up!
Officers discovered a loaded Taurus 9mm handgun with an extended magazine placed between the driver and passenger seats during a vehicle search. The passenger, Sharon Bryan, had minor visible injuries but declined medical treatment. The driver, Thompson, had ID but no license and was taken to UAMS for evaluation before being booked into the Pulaski County Jail. The vehicle, which was registered to Sharon Bryan, sustained significant damage and could no longer be driven. Bryan was transported to an address in Little Rock and released. The suspect is now facing multiple charges, including reckless driving, fleeing from law enforcement, obstructing government operations, along with other offenses.
Dude, they...
On October 24, 2024, police spotted a speeding vehicle on Highway 71. When officers attempted a traffic stop, the driver hit the accelerator and fled, launching a high-speed pursuit.
I've got Greenland and Scotty. Coming back up to 71.
His pursuit became increasingly dangerous as the suspect weaved aggressively across lanes and nearly struck an oncoming civilian vehicle near the 1037 South area. On the highway, the reckless behavior escalated, making sharp turns, crossing lanes, and dangerously overtaking other vehicles.
Traffic speeding on the line, down 71.
On the highway, officers executed a sudden pit maneuver at around 80 miles per hour. The suspect's vehicle whipped forward, spun sideways, and violently flipped across the lanes. The rear passenger side wheel was torn off in the brutal crash, with at least one axle snapped while another wheel spun wildly at a horrifying, twisted angle.
Get out! On the ground! Get...
Officers quickly surrounded the vehicle, issuing clear commands for all occupants to raise their hands and exit. Once the suspect was secured, police moved to secure the scene and called in a tow truck to handle the aftermath of the crash.
On the ground!
Yes, sir, I didn't do anything. I'm down. Don't shoot.
The suspect was taken into custody and now faces multiple potential charges, including reckless driving, fleeing from police.
Stop! You should not be. Nope, do not pull your hands away. You're arrested. Stop pulling away.
On March 30th, 2024, a reported fight between a man and a woman quickly turned into a tense encounter involving several underage individuals and alcohol. What started as a domestic disturbance soon escalated into a volatile situation requiring immediate police action.
Sorry, how old's everybody in the car?
I'm 19. I'm 19.
All 19? Can you step out me for a second, ma'am, from the front of the car? Is that vehicle parked?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Stay back, right over here, man. Copy. So there was no fight. That's a call we got. There was a fight between a male and a female. Okay. How much were you drinking? How long ago was your last shot? Okay. How long ago was your last shot? Okay. So there's no fight whatsoever. So no different. All right. Okay, that's not how that works. You're right, this is the last time. LS 222, I need you to step out of the car and identify yourself, please.
My name is Caitlin Higgins.
Nope, you need to step out of the car, Caitlin.
Tell him what? He's
Caitlin.
making me step out of the car.
Caitlin, step out of the car.
Nope.
Okay, Caitlin, I'm gonna warn you if you don't step out of the car,
Yeah,
you need to step out of the car.
When my lawyer gets here.
That's not how that works. This is the last time.
After getting a call about a fight, officers approached a vehicle where the people inside, who claimed to be friends, denied any altercation and tried to downplay the situation. But officers quickly noticed alcohol in the car. Everyone was just 19, except for one person. That made underage drinking a serious issue.
You smell like alcohol.
My lawyer gets here.
Okay, I don't care. You smell like alcohol. There's open containers in the car. How much you had to drink tonight? Okay, I'm gonna take off your eyes real quick. And you take a look at this pen right here. Can you clearly see that in front of your face?
No, you cannot do that until my lawyer gets here.
Face towards the car. You're under arrest for prohibition. Stop! You are making this so much worse. You should not be. Nope. Do not pull your hands away. You are under arrest. Stop pulling away.
sit tight right here.
What is it? If you're underage, it's like point fucking what? 0.0 something?
When Caitlin, one of the three 19-year-old girls, was asked to step out of the vehicle, she immediately became argumentative and uncooperative. Despite clear directions from the officers, she insisted on waiting for her lawyer and actively resisted complying. Her refusal to cooperate directly led to her arrest for underage drinking and obstructing a law enforcement officer.
It's just a fucking left line said.
You can put her in my car.
I know I can't have my phone.
The answer is yes. Put yourself on the car.
I don't understand why I'm under arrest.
Because you're underage and you've been drinking. You can't be drinking underage. Just like she can't have a beer, just like your friend can't drink underage. This is where we're at. Can you please put your purse in?
After Caitlin was secured, officers turned to the two remaining 19-year-old girls. Breath tests confirmed alcohol, and both admitted to drinking. Officers explained the legal grounds, underage drinking laws, and the presence of open containers. Both were arrested for being underage. One of them expressed concern for her younger sister waiting at home, a brief human moment in a strict legal process.
Before you go into jail, anything you cut, poke, stick, needles, drugs, anything like that in possession? I'm going to walk this way, go between the cars.
In the end, officers made the arrests and urged the girls to learn from this ordeal. From denial to detention, this case serves as a powerful reminder. Underage drinking carries real legal consequences, and ignoring police commands only makes it worse.
When I walked over, you guys were all underage and alcohol in the car.
Slow down about 15 rounds. Headed east. Anything marked right now,
On October 18th, 2023, a police officer spotted a vehicle driving erratically. When he tried to pull it over, the driver hit the gas and fled, kicking off a dramatic high-speed chase. The vehicle fled at 80 miles per hour through a no-traffic zone, clearly showing a disregard for safety. It sped through a BP parking lot just to get back on the road and continued east on Route 62. The driver then ran a red light at Regent and 34th Street, ignored another stop sign, and turned into a different parking lot.
Still up my way on my branch. Just revving his engine here. Yeah, he's taking off. South on Middle Branch.
The vehicle continued northbound on Harmont Drive, then slowed down and made a right turn onto 162nd Street. It struck the curb, causing damage and flattening the rear passenger side tire. Despite the flat, the driver kept going, swerving erratically across lanes and escalating the danger.
Out there? Negative, going back out onto 62, headed east. Signal 100 on 62. We're going back the right way now. I'm 77 in Colton. You can still mark right now, past it. Slow down about 15 around the stop sign here in the region at 34. East on 34th Street. Stop sign. Oh, he's about 30 on there into a parking lot. He is continuing going north now through the parking lot. And then that stop sign on 34. 30 on. turn, making a right turn onto 62. Looks like something on his car's messed up in those curbs. He's short on pretty good. Going anywhere with his tires being flat.
And he's turning into the sheriff's department. If you can look at the
In a strange twist to a police pursuit, a confused and disoriented driver pulled straight into the parking lot of the sheriff's office. Officers quickly moved in, using the vehicle's slow speed to block him in. Showing signs of intoxication and slurred speech, he was taken into custody after nearly delivering himself straight to jail.
I'm coming up on our line. I'll get crossed.
Stay right there! Stay right there! Stay right there! Stop the vehicle now! Stop the car!
After being taken into custody, the driver mentioned having been at Nathan's Patio Bar, further raising suspicions of DUI. Officers documented the damage, including a collision with a concrete curb in the Middle Branch parking lot. Now facing charges like DUI, fleeing, and reckless driving, the driver was booked into jail.
Turning, Cat 4 and turning 1 will be appointed to you.
While patrolling I-95, an officer spotted a gray Range Rover traveling at 90 miles per hour in a 65 miles per hour zone. When the officer attempted a traffic stop, the driver sped off southbound. What started as a routine stop quickly escalated into a high-speed pursuit.
Southbound exit 702. Are you still behind the vehicle?
It's a blue lane road.
There's a blue line rover, go to 28. Vehicle 5429, 2019 Land Rover. Street possibly heading right towards I-95.
The suspect vehicle exited 45th Street westbound, then made a U-turn at the Walmart entrance to head back east. As it neared I-95, the left rear tire blew out. Despite the damage, the driver turned south on North Shore Drive, weaved through a plaza behind a flea market, then looped back north and westbound on 45th Street again.
Traffic.
North Shore.
Northbound. North Shore, eastbound.
Gonna go south on North Shore. Gonna pull into the plaza here.
North Shore 45th, no problem.
I'm never gonna go back towards 45th Street.
Back towards border.
You have a flat tire. You want to turn it over.
The suspect drove recklessly through residential and commercial areas even after a tire had blown out. At the intersection with Australian Avenue, he slammed into the rear of an SUV. Both vehicles sustained heavy damage, and it became clear the suspect knew his getaway was over.
On your knees! On your knees! Get back! Hands behind your back!
Police acted without hesitation, giving firm verbal commands for the suspect to exit the vehicle. Oddly, Alfred complied. He walked backward toward officers and lay down on the concrete median, where he was quickly handcuffed. When asked why he ran, Alfred admitted because there were drugs in the car. The driver of the SUV he crashed into was an elderly woman. She appeared shaken and disoriented. Although her injuries were minor, she was transported to the hospital for evaluation.
Can you please stop rescue if you help an elderly female? Stupid ass bitch.
The suspect, identified as Alfred, was taken into custody. He now faces multiple charges, including reckless driving, fleeing law enforcement, possession and distribution of marijuana, among other offenses.
Pound of weed or what?
FHP locks in on a reckless Florida driver tearing through a quiet neighborhood at terrifying speed. In Arkansas, a Honda Accord blasts down the highway before troopers pit it at 99 miles per hour, sending it crashing through a guardrail. A wild night out ends in handcuffs for 3 19-year-old girls. And when a Ford F-150 driver makes a desperate break, Arkansas State Police flip the truck and end the chaos. These aren't just fast stories, they're fast regrets. One wrong move, one bad decision, and your night turns into a record. Drive smart. Obey the law. Because speed fades, but the consequences stay.